Merry Christmas, everybody. It's December 24th, Christmas Eve, and we have reached the final in my Beer Quiz Calendar. And it's going to be really exciting to see who will be this year's winner in the Beer Quiz. Last year it was Pelle Frost from Alvinne Brewing, and he didn't make it through the group stage this year. Got knocked out by Karin from Rådanäs by 1 year on the tiebreaker. Let's see if we have such a tight race all the way to the finish here in the final. And the 5 people reaching the final this year are these 5. We have Martin Flip from Nøgne Ø, Norway. And we have Glenn from Alvinne, Belgium. And Chris from Transient, Michigan, USA. And then we have Jessica from Hopnotch here in Sweden, the Stockholm area. And the last is Kenny, also here from Sweden, works at Malmö Brewing Taproom, the bar manager there. And this is going to be really exciting, so let's kick off the quiz. And the first question is a picture, and I want to know who this is. And let's start with Martin.
Är det Glenn från Alvinne?
Kolla Alvinne här.
Jag säger Glenn från Alvinne.
He thought it was Glenn from Alvinne. Well, let's take a look to see if Glenn agrees that it's a picture of himself.
Who is this?
Michael Jackson.
He says Michael Jackson, and that is the correct answer. Michael Jackson, not the artist, but the beer hunter Michael Jackson. I think you can find some of his old documentaries, videos on YouTube still, called just check for The Beer Hunter. And let's see what the rest of the participants answered. Chris, Jessica and Kenny.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Ser ut som Bob Ross har blandats med någon ölnörd. Pass på den, tyvärr, ingen aning.
Michael Jackson.
Well, we got 2 more answers there on Michael Jackson from Chris and Jessica, but none from Kenny. So, Chris, Jessica and Glenn are in the lead after the first question. Let's see if the others can pick up some points on question number 2. I want to know, in what movie do 2 bootleggers try to smuggle 400 cases of coarse beer from Texarkana to Atlanta? And let's start with Martin.
Wayne's World. Right,
Wayne's World is not correct. So let's check with Kenny, who's also trailing.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit. And that is the correct answer, Smokey and the Bandit. Or nu blåser vi snuten, as we say in Swedish. So point for Kenny. So let's see if the others will hold their lead. So let's start with Glenn.
No, I have no idea.
No answer from Glenn there. We move on to Jessica.
Ingen aning.
Nämn
Bootleggers.
Bootleggers. Not a correct answer. We have Chris left.
Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run. Well, another classic 80s car movie, but not the correct answer. I believe Cannonball Run is a competition, driving from coast to coast, I think, and the fastest one there wins the race. And a lot of famous movie stars are in it. Roger Moore, Sammy Davis Jr., Farrah Fawcett. So No points for Chris either. Only 1 point here on question 2, and that was for Kenny. So now 4 people on 1 point after the first 2 questions. And question number 3. Here you can really score some points, because I want the participants to name 3 Trappist breweries. But before we check the answers, we need to see what kind of beer I'm drinking today. And I got a bottle here, no label, but this is quite a mark to see what kind of beer it is. And also we have the bottle cap here, and let's see if you can see that it's Westvleteren. It's a Westvleteren 12 Belgian quad, and this is said to be one of the best beers in the world. And I'm not sure I agree with that, but it's a really good beer, a really strong Belgian quad. And this is from 2019, and it has held up very good. It's very rich in taste. You got some notes of dry fruit, some caramel. Well, it is a really good beer. Maybe not the best beer in the world, but it's a really good one. But let's move on to the answers, and let's see if these contestants know their Trappist breweries. So let's start with Martin, who is trailing.
Duvel, Westvleteren, Abyss.
Duvel is not a Trappist brewery, so no point for Duvel, but Westvleteren is one. So point there, 1 point for Martin. And the third one, I didn't really hear what he was saying, so I'm sorry, but I can't give a point. And I'm sorry if you said some correct answer there, but I can't make out what you're saying there, Martin. So only 1 point for Martin. Let's move on to Glenn.
Westmalle, Orval, Rochefort. Yeah, that would have been sad if...
That one was easy for you.
Unless you want to name me 3 that I wouldn't be able to name 3 that I haven't been there even.
Maybe
so.
for you I should name 3 outside of Belgium.
That's a bit, would have been a little bit more difficult, but I think I would manage.
Westmalle, Rochefort, and Orval. Correct answers. Well, if someone should know this, it is Glenn, the Belgian. So 3 points there for Glenn, moves up to 4 points. Let's see if Kenny knows his Belgian beers.
Chimay. Fan, självklart ska vi stå still i huvudet nu. Alltså jag har garanterat 3 stycken olika flaskor nere i kylen, men nu står det helt stilla. Ta oss vidare så säger vi Vreta kloster, för det är ju när vi kommer i Sverige i alla fall. Ja, men varför kommer jag inte på det här? Jag får passa på sista.
Well, he answered Chimay, at least, which is a Trappist brewery, but you don't need to be Belgian to be a Trappist brewery. And he answered Vreta Kloster, which is a brewery here in Sweden, and the Kloster means abbey, but and they do beers in the Belgian style, but it's not a Trappist brewery. So only 1 point there for Kenny. And let's see if Chris knows this.
Westmalle, Westvleteren, Kloster Index.
Westmalle there from Chris, and Westvleteren and Andex. 2 points there for Westmalle and Westvleteren, but unfortunately Andex is not a Trappist brewery. It is a German brewery, and which is called the Kloster Andex, and Kloster is abbey, but it's not a Trappist brewery. So only 2 points for Chris. So Glenn is still in the lead, But we have Jessica left, so let's take a look at her answers.
Rochefort, Västmalle och Västfläteren.
Rochefort, Westmalle and Westfläteren. Full points there for Jessica, 3 points, so she moves also up to 4, and Jessica and Glenn are in the lead. And now the next question is from what country does the beer Red Stripe come from? And we start again with Martin, who is trailing.
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Correct answer there from Martin, moves up to 2 points in the final. And we have Kenny, who have 2 points before this question. Do you know this one, Kenny?
Jamaica.
Of course, he knew Jamaica also, so 3 points there for Kenny. And now it's time for Chris, who have 3 points before this one. So Chris, you know what country Red Stripe is from?
Jamaica.
Of course it does, so 4 points for Chris. And now, let's take a look at Jessica's answer.
Jamaica.
No problem for Jessica either. Also Jamaica as a answer. So Jessica moves up to 5 points here now. And let's see if Glenn will follow her up to 5 points also.
Don't know, but I can try and guess. Let's say Estonia.
He fails on that question. Estonia, not correct. So that means that Jessica are in the lead with 5 points before Chris and Glenn, who has 4. And Kenny has only 3 and Martin only 2, which means that Kenny and Martin can't win this final. But I'm super glad to have had you participating in this calendar. And Kenny, I will see you at Taproom soon. And Martin, hopefully see you soon at the beer festival. So cheers to you. But now we have the final question, the tiebreaker. So Jessica on 5 points, Chris and Glenn on 4. And if Chris and Glenn are spot on the tiebreaker, they will get a point and move up to 5 points. And if Jessica is not spot on, then it's the one closest on the tiebreaker question that will be the winner. So if Chris or Glenn answers correctly, they are in a good spot to be this year's champion. And the tiebreaker question in the final is about a world record. Steven Petrosino has the world record when it comes to drink 1 liter of beer. So how fast did he drink this liter of beer? And I want an answer with 1 decimal. And as I said, Chris and Glenn need to be spot on the correct answer. So you at home, do you have any idea how fast Steven Petrosino drank this liter of beer? Well, here is the correct answer. It's 1.3 seconds. It's quite fast. So let's see if Chris or Glenn will be spot on. We start with Chris.
3.5 seconds.
3.5. No, not a correct answer. So Chris won't win this year's Beer Quiz edition. So now it's up to Glenn. Needs to provide a correct answer, 1.3 seconds. So he will tie with Jessica in the lead. And let's take a look at Glenn's answer.
3.6 seconds.
Thank you for your answers, Glenn.
No worries.
3.6 seconds. He's further away from Chris there, which means that Glenn ends up in 3rd place in this competition. Chris is 2nd. Kenny is 4th, even though he answered 1.4 seconds, which was a really good answer. So if he just got some more points on the Trappist breweries, he would have been a fierce competitor on this tiebreaker question. And Martin are in 5th place in the final. But this year's winner is Jessica Heidrich, so from Hop Notch Brewery in Vaxholm outside of Stockholm, Sweden. So congratulations, Jessica. Semi-final last year and winner of the final this year. So cheers to you. Hope to see you soon again at the beer festival. I just want to say thank you to all the 60 competitors in this year's beer quiz. Thank you for letting me torment you during Brewskaval, Great Swedish Beer Fest and All in Beer Fest and other occasions. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you enjoyed it too. And thanks to all you viewing this and giving me great feedback during this calendar. We'll see if it will be a 3rd edition next year. I hope so, but let's see if I have the time to do it, because it is quite time consuming this, even though it's really, really fun. Well, it's time to close this episode of the beer calendar. I'm gonna finish this Flater 12 from 2019, then I'm gonna have some nice Christmas food. And well, I see you around on the blog in the future and on beer festivals. Don't hesitate to come up and say hi if you recognize me. And then we'll see what festival I will be attending next time. And let's see if there will be a new quiz in December 2024. But for now, I say Merry Christmas and cheers.